Hello, I'm Christy and welcome to my discount cooking and living channel. It's the end of January. Today is January 29th, 2022, and that means our month of pantry cooking challenge is coming to an end. I invited you all and I challenged myself to try January Canuary, which is a month of just cleaning out your pantry, coming up with recipes, and a shopping list at the grocery store. I hope you stick around to the end of this video because I'll tell you how much money I saved and share some of the recipes I made with you. But right now, January Canuary is not over yet, and I've got some pizza to make, people. So come make some pizza with me.
Pizza dough is very simple. You'll need flour, olive oil, sugar, salt, yeast, and water. Start with 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm water and dump in your packet of dry yeast to get it activated. Stir and let it sit while you prepare your dry ingredients. Now we'll mix the dry ingredients together. 1 cup of flour, a teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of sugar. I only have brown sugar, so that's going to be just fine. And stir until combined. Next, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and the yeast and water mixture. Stir until well combined. The dough should be sticky and well combined. Now add additional flour, 1/4 of a cup at a time. Stir to combine, then add more flour. When the flour is mixed in and the dough becomes sticky again, that is a sign to add more flour. I think I actually added a bit too much flour, but you know what? It does not have to be perfect to still turn out really good. This is good enough. The dough is ready for the next step. Get a clean bowl and coat with olive oil. I work the dough in my hands for a moment to make a nice ball and plop it into the bowl coated with olive oil. Now we just need some type of plastic to cover the dough while it rises. I'm reusing an old plastic bag. Put a bit of oil on the bag and smear it around. With the bag right side out, cover the dough, making sure the oily plastic is above it. That way, the dough won't get stuck to the plastic. The dough will rise better in a warm place, so I set it on top of my preheated toaster oven to rise until double in size. While the dough rises, we can make our marinara sauce. I'm using up various cans of tomato products, including pasta sauce, diced tomatoes, and tomato paste. You can use what you have available. To flavor the sauce, let's add green bell pepper, onion, and garlic. Chop the onion and half of the green bell pepper. In case you haven't used bell pepper before, it's very easy to clean just by ripping out the seeded inside. Also, take off the flavorless white parts. To get any loose seeds out, just tap against your hand a couple times. Now we are ready to cook. Heat your frying pan over medium heat. We are going to add a couple tablespoons of oil, and I have some bacon grease that I have saved just for making sauces like this. You can use whatever type of oil you like. Add the onion and green pepper. I usually chop my garlic, but today I'm using this handy garlic press. I'm not sure how I feel about the garlic press. They always seem to take a lot of work, but they are really great at mincing garlic. Stir to coat in the oil and let cook until it just starts to brown. After several minutes, I am ready to add my tomato. I'll start with this random can of pasta sauce. Then I want to use those diced tomatoes, but I don't like chunky tomatoes. So I just pulse the diced tomato in my blender first and then add it to my sauce. Then I add a few spoonfuls of tomato paste for extra rich tomato flavor. Now stir. The only thing we are missing is some spice. I add salt to taste, fresh cracked pepper, Italian seasoning blend, crushed red pepper flakes, and I have some fresh thyme in my herb garden. I gently break the leaves off and discard the stems. Stir and let simmer over low heat for several minutes. And be sure to cover so the sauce doesn't bubble up and splash everywhere. Part of the joy of pizza is that you can put any toppings you want. You also get to make choices about the shapes you're going to cut, and it becomes kind of like a food collage. I really like these olives and decide to just cut them in half and have big juicy chunks to put on top of my pizza. The pizza dough has risen, and this is how it looks. Add a bit of flour to the surface you will be using, then plop your dough on top. Gently fold it, working in a bit of the flour just so the dough is manageable and not too sticky. I'm going to cut this and use it to make 2 small pizzas that will fit into my toaster oven. I gently knead the dough a little bit more just to make sure it's feeling good and ready to be made into a nice thin pizza crust. Shape your dough into the desired thickness and shape that you want. You can use a rolling pin or your bare hands to gently press the dough down gradually, working it into a thinner, wider piece. This is really fun, by the way. I lift and stretch my dough a little bit, letting gravity do the work for me. I want an oblong shape that will fit onto my rectangular baking sheet. I transfer the dough to my baking sheet and make any minor adjustments that I like. It's time to add our toppings, but oops! Before you add the marinara sauce, drizzle a bit of olive oil on your crust. This will help prevent soggy dough. And if you poke your dough with a fork, it will reduce bubbles. Okay, now we are ready for the marinara sauce. And mozzarella cheese, and whatever kinds of toppings you like. Before my pizza is completely done, I like to sprinkle on some grated Parmesan cheese. Now we are ready for the oven. With the oven preheated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, bake for about 20 minutes or until the crust becomes slightly golden at the edges and the dough is no longer soft. The pizza looks and smells amazing. Now you just decide how you want to cut your pizza, and if you want, you can add crushed red chili flakes or anything else before serving. Yum.
Okay, our pizza is done. I've got a slice to sample here, so let's go to our great picnic area. So it was a packet of yeast that I found in my cupboard that inspired this whole pizza making adventure. I haven't made pizza in ages, but I've really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed doing different things this month while I cook with all the different ingredients I could find in my pantry. This also made for a really memorable Christmas because I made that same pizza dough and I took it to my friends on Christmas Day, and we all made individual pizzas, and it was just like a really special and fun activity to have. Okay, enough talking. This is pizza number 2 that I'm going to try with you because Andre and I were so hungry. We already ate pizza number 1 and it was really good. This is cooled off now and it's still really banging. It's awesome. The marinara is tangy and the pizza dough is just right. And it's soft and crispy on the bottom, and it's not too thick and it's not too thin. So that's another great thing about making pizza at home. You can just make it the way you like it. So this month I challenged myself and I challenged you to go through and take inventory of your pantry and the different items that you already have available in your kitchen and use that, get inspired and use that to create some recipe and menu ideas, and then create a shopping list to go to the grocery store and buy just what you need. In doing that this month, I definitely had fun trying some different recipes or things that I just haven't made in ages. I learned, for example, that I love cauliflower in my salads. I work a job. I typically have to go into the office, so I packed salads all month long for lunch, and I would put sliced, like really thinly sliced cauliflower in there, and oh my god, it was delicious. It's really crunchy and tangy and refreshing, and it made my lunches just feel really fancy and delicious. I also made delicious chicken tetrazzini, which is layers of creamy sauce and chicken with spaghetti and whatever kind of vegetables you like, and it was so good. I made 16 bean soup, which again is just, you put whatever you can in there and lots of beans, and it is really delicious and yummy. I made a lot of BLT sandwiches with fresh homemade sprouts that I'm going to show you guys sometime how to make homemade alfalfa sprouts. And I also made burrito bowls with my homemade black beans and polenta, and that is just so satisfying and delicious and wholesome. I'm planning on sharing that recipe with you guys in the next video. So all of those delicious meals, you would think that I would have spent more at the grocery store doing meals and recipes that I haven't done in a long time or that are new to me. But I spent less this month. I spent about $400 on groceries this month. That doesn't include some of Andre's spending because, let's be realistic, people, everybody has different needs, and sometimes Andre needs different food than I do. So he has, his own budget where he can go and buy specific things that he wants to have. For example, we were having hamburgers the other night and he wanted iceberg lettuce, which we don't usually buy. So he got himself some iceberg lettuce, and that's okay to do. That iceberg lettuce was delicious, by the way. But altogether, he and I spent about $600 this month on groceries, which still isn't cheap. We could try harder and do better, but we really enjoyed ourselves. We didn't skimp in any way. We bought everything we wanted to buy, and we used ingredients that I already had in the pantry. But we still saved money. I think we saved money mostly because we were just being a little bit more intentional in planning some of our meals. We didn't plan every meal, but we planned, several meals throughout the week. I think last month we spent almost $1,000 on food. So that's a savings of $400, which is quite a lot. So, you can eat delicious food and save money. I hope this video showed you that you can eat delicious meals and save money just by getting a little bit creative with what you already have available to you. If you didn't join me this month for January, don't worry, you can do it anytime. I'm going to try to keep doing this throughout the year because it's been so fun. I've made new and creative things and it's been so delicious, and it's better on the wallet. I hope you enjoyed the pizza dough and marinara sauce recipe. Please let me know in the comments if you have other great ideas for pizza dough or for marinara sauce, or if you want to share some of the awesome recipes you came up with for January. If you did join me, I'd also love to know if you saved money, and if you don't mind sharing how much. Maybe we can get a good dialogue going down below of different creative things people did to save money and eat really, really well this month. As always, thanks for watching and happy cooking.